Hey Shirley, all right, welcome to my little video here. Okay, so what I want to show you, of course, this will be it's in the email that I'm obviously sending with this video link that I've provided. Just wanted to walk through kind of what I'm talking about with some of this stuff on this production guide and some ideas or what I'm thinking. Know that all this is up for discussion, but so I'm definitely, if you have some ideas of your own, I'm willing to do that. But if you're kind of like, I don't know where to start, then this is hopefully is what's going to help get you going. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what's in that production guide. All right, so the first thing to look at, this first bullet point is each module will have a minimum of 15 minutes of lecture material. This can be built upon to get to 30 minutes of lecture material by the third time the class runs, is to run or to runs. So we need at least a foundation of 15 minutes of lecture material. And that shouldn't be too difficult. So we've got 8 modules of 15 minutes apiece. Now that's the minimum. The minimum. You can do more. If you can easily do a lot more, especially with this type of course. It's I think it lends itself to a lot more of how-tos, how-to videos than which would easily. I mean, I could see a whole bunch of them being done, and easily go past even 30 minutes. So you are not bound by an upper limit. I mean, if you start putting 6 hours of material per module, maybe, but at least go for 15 minutes at the very get-go for each module, each of the eight modules. Or I'm sorry, back up. 16 modules. I'll explain in a moment. So each module will have 15 minutes of lecture stuff in it. Shouldn't be too terribly difficult, again, because of the type of material that you're dealing with. At least I think, but we haven't done this yet, so I could be totally wrong. All right, so that's point number one: 15 minutes of lecture material per module. Now, to do this, we're going to be using screencasting software as my recommendation. I mean, if you got something else in mind, we can talk about it. But to me, I think this is the easy, best way, easy to learn, does everything we need to do method right here, and something you can do from home as long as your computer meets these basic kind of certain fundamental tech requirements. So with screencasting, what I would recommend now, if you have some other, you may, hey Chris, I use all kinds of screencasting software and I like to use XYZ. Great, go for it. But I don't think you've done anything like this before. So what I would recommend is use screencast-o-matic.com. Very easy to learn. Does a really great job. It's pretty darn stable, at least on all the machines I've used it on, and it comes free. The free version is pretty good. I do want you to get the pro version. That will allow you longer record times, and it removes their proprietary watermark off of there. Also adds some extra bells and whistles, but not much. It's very simplified screencasting software. But go ahead and get that pro version. It's $15 a year. Save the receipt, and then I'm going to have one of my administrative admins work with you on submitting a concur. Oh, geez, oh Pete, submitting a concur for this to get you paid back. Worst case scenario, we'll figure out some way. Even if we do a check request, we'll get you paid back on that $15. But I'll have you work with an admin on how to do that. But do get that pro version. Now, what you'll want to do is you'll want to go to screencast-o-matic.com, and let me pull up my browser here. So just go to screencast-o-matic.com, and Google search should find it right there. Pretty easy for you. And let's see here. Our internet's a little slow this morning. We'll give it a second. If it doesn't come up, no loss. Okay, here we go. And they do have an online version of this that seems to be web-based, but what you'll want to do is order the pro account. Again, get that pro recorder that will actually give you the option to install a small little program on your laptop that works really good. So that's what you're going to want to do. You want to get the pro, no watermark, longer recordings. I want to say it's let's see. Okay, I think the uploads, okay, yes. So I think they're almost unlimited in time on your recordings. I would not go more than, even though we can go more than 15 minutes, try to keep your recordings under 15 minutes. We'll talk a little bit more about that. So, but play around with this. Go ahead and order it, play around with it. It can do pretty much anything that you want to do as far as if you're um, pretty much what I'm using right now is a form of screencasting. Now I'm using another program, but it's essentially the same. So imagine that you could do this, what we're doing now. Look at all these windows I have open. Let me close these down here. But let's say you wanted to, you're doing a Microsoft Word lecture, and you could bring in Word right into the frame here. I normally would have all this done before I started it. And you could talk about all the functions in here and or go through whatever. I mean, I would what I would do is I would chunk your lectures. So chunk your whatever you want to call them. They might be called lectures, but chunk them up into smaller elements where you're maybe just going over one thing. Like, hey guys, I'm going to talk about how we're going to insert objects into a Word document, how we're going to insert pictures and shapes, and you just go over that. That may only take about 3 to 5 minutes, and then end it right then and there. That way, as things change with Microsoft Office, you're not changing a whole 30-minute lecture. You have all these little chunked how-to guides or exercises, if you will. So that's the way I would approach it. Again, just chunk it down into smaller components, kind of how-tos. There's a lot of inspiration that you can find on the internet on how to do these things. But cancel that. Actually, I don't want to lose that. I'm going to move that off. All right, so let me get back to where we were. If I can find that document now. And here we go. Doop, 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 doop. Okay, so here we are back, hopefully back to where we need to be. Close this out. And but yes, that's the whole element of what you want to do here. Plus, you'll be able to add your picture, your image, into the video and take it off very easily. I will give you another tutorial on how to do Screencast-O-Matic.com. I'm again assuming that's what you want to do, but I'll show you how to do all the basics of that. Once you get down the basics, it takes only a few minutes. You're good to go. If you want to do PowerPoint-based lectures, you can do that. If you want to do kind of how-to on various functions of Microsoft Office, you can do that. It's really, really versatile. So, all right, so we got that. Let's all move on there. So you're going to get your Screencast-O-Matic.com at $15 a year, and we'll pay you back. One of the things you want to do is choose your capture, your aspect ratio. So right now I'm using the 16:9, kind of the widescreen version, or you can do the traditional 4:3. Up to you on how you want to capture that screen real estate. I would just remain consistent with all your lectures. It just looks a little weird when they go from different sizes. So you pick what you want to do, but just remain consistent with the size. For me, I am kind of getting more used to the widescreen, so I've been using the 16:9, but that's up to you. All right, and then also when you're going to do your videos, and I'll give you a tutorial again on Screencast-O-Matic.com. Let me know when you're ready and you're set up with it. Play around with it on your own. Again, it's pretty easy to figure out, but you'll want to render all your videos. You're going to save them to your desktop, save them to a flash drive because we'll need them. We may put them on YouTube or we may put them right on our video servers here. I think we'll probably use our video servers here. But you'll want to render all your videos in MP4 format. Again, it will be a choice option for you when you choose to save your file after you're done making one. And you'll want to render it in the, let's try the higher quality because usually these things are you have a lot of text in these type of presentations. I'm assuming you have a lot of text. You're going to have little navigations, little windows that you'll be doing. So you'll probably want the higher resolution, so you'll choose the higher quality. Takes a little bit longer to render, but I think it'll be worth it. And then you'll also want to record one welcome video. That'll be right at the very beginning of your course. We'll have it posted, maybe in the course. It might be posted in a couple places, course overview, and it's also something that'll be put right up in your course news. The first thing that they'll see is a video of you. And this is just something, again, you'll use screencast-o-matic.com, and it's just a way for you to welcome them into the course. Kind of up to you and what you want to do. Usually what I do is I do a syllabus review. I don't go through the whole thing, but I talk about the syllabus, general stuff on there. Maybe I'll talk about the big project and general expectations for the course. Also, I'll tell them how to best contact me, so that'll be in there. But again, the thing is to kind of be fun, upbeat, why this course is exciting, why it really applies to your profession. I think usually, I think these things are so critical for the care of our patients, and or let me back up. I'm thinking of your systems class. This will be just kind of how it relates to them. That learning Microsoft Office will be essential, an essential skill that you'll use for the rest of your life. That kind of thing. So you put a little bit of a, why it's important for them to enjoy this course, I guess. Okay, and then also this course, moving on to our next bullet point, this is a 16-week course. So right now we've been doing a lot of 8-weekers with you. I think we were planning on doing one 16-week at one point, but we've nixed that idea. That was with your systems course, that was a 316. We were going to do a 16-week version of that, but I don't think we're going to do that right now. But this course is definitely a 16-weeker. All right, so it's a little bit different animal, a little bit slower going, but should have about the same amount of content in it because it is 3 credit hours. With the 16-week course, we have something else happens that's a little bit different that we don't have happen with our 8-week courses, and that is you have finals week. Okay. In the 8-week courses, you don't have finals week. Everything's crammed together, including a final in that 8th module, that 8th week. Here, you actually have a 16th week that you will be doing your final only in. Now, I'm guessing you might have a final. It might be a big test, maybe, or it might be a big project. That's up to you. I don't care. But that's the only thing that's in the 16th week is that the submission of the thing, whatever it is, whether it's the test or whether it's the big project thingy that they're working on for you. That's that final piece. But no content in the 16th week. So you got 15 modules to play with. Also, in a lot of our classes, I don't know if we ever talked about it, but I just wanted to let you know. We try to do one-on-one student faculty meetings in our HCA courses, at least at one time during the semester or at the beginning or the middle. I kind of leave that up to the instructor. But for this course, it is not required. So don't worry about the one-on-one. You can have it if you want it. Totally up to you, but don't feel like you have to put it in here. All right. So let's talk a little bit about kind of the breakdowns. Now, I am totally open for some ideas. If you see something that looks better, that works better, let me know. Absolutely. I'm kind of taking my best guess at what we're doing here. So I think we're probably pretty darn close here. But again, if you don't know where to start, I'm going to give you some guidelines on what to do. And then if you got some input, let me know. All right. So basically what I've done is I've taken the descriptive course content outline, basically all the stuff that we say we're going to teach, kind of at a little more granular level that we're going to teach, and broken it down into modules. Now do know that each course has something called, and let me pull this up here. This is the beauty of screencasting. I love it. So let me bring this up over here. This thing right here, I gave you one, and it is the what we call the course proposal. This is the soul of the course. Has the approved course description and has the approved course objectives. If you look at these course objectives, we've only got 5 of them. They're very global. Demonstrate the use of central application features in the production of Excel worksheets. Demonstrate the use of central application features in PowerPoint presentations. So very basic stuff here. So Word application, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, demonstrate how to use those. Use cloud integration for the creation of Office files, and explain Outlook, Access, OneNote, and Publisher. So those are the main course objectives. of these. So, all right, so that's the bigger picture. But what you really want is the granular level. What am I doing in kind of some of these modules? So in module 1 week, you're just going to go over the computer fundamentals. Again, these will be 1 week increments. That still stays the same. Modules 2 through 5, you're going to have 4 modules in which you can concentrate on Word. I really see Word and Excel as being the two biggies in here. So you got a whole month on Word, and these are some of the, again, the granular level stuff. You can teach much more than that if you want, but you got 4 weeks to do that in. So there's kind of your guidelines in there. In modules 6 through 9, you're going to be focusing, again, 4 more weeks, you're going to be focusing on Excel. The instructor that, one of the people that are going to be in this class are primarily health information technology folks. Could be anybody, but primarily health information technology folks. She had a specific request when you do charts for Excel that you go over pie, bar, and line charts, which you probably would have anyway, but she wants those 3 for sure when you talk about charts. Okay, so that's a little bit about Excel. Again, everything in there. You got a month, 4 modules, a month for Excel. Then we got PowerPoint. Again, I just took a stab at this. I figure we'll just give it 2 weeks. Modules 10 and 11. Maybe PowerPoint ties in some of the things that you've learned in Word, some of the things that you learned in Excel. Maybe you've made a pie chart in Excel, and now you're going to use that in Word. Maybe you've made a table, or you've done something. I don't know what. A table or an illustration or who knows what, and in Word, and you want to put it in PowerPoint. So now you can build upon Word and Excel if you need to in bringing some of those elements into PowerPoint. But give PowerPoint just a couple of weeks. And then a couple more weeks on cloud integration. So that's really OneDrive and the whole Office 365 kind of integrated environment. So give yourself about 2 weeks with that one. Now, again, I'm just guessing. Maybe you decide, hey, I only need a week for that. That's fine. Just let me know. And then where are you dumping that other week? Maybe you're putting that other week up into Excel. I don't know. But again, cloud integration, 2 weeks, modules 12 and 13. Then we have this other category, other Office 365 applications. So what I would like covered in here is Outlook, and just kind of some of the basics with Outlook, maybe searching emails, organizing, creating a new message, how to manage your contacts, how to do a meeting, and maybe even the task and note features that are kind of integrated within kind of that whole Outlook area. So a little bit on Outlook, because it is the corporate email. It's what our people are going to be using. And then on this last one, feature review, there are other applications within Office. I don't know much about them personally. I've only touched a little bit on Publisher. I didn't like OneNote too much, and I've never used Access, only basically as a front-end user. So, but if you could explain kind of, here's what Access is, here's what it does, here's why people use it, some really fundamentals. They don't have to really do anything with it. You can, I mean, if you want, you can have them play with it a little bit, but not a biggie. But they should know if somebody says, hey, what's Access? They should know that it's, kind of the database program that they can use. Well, what's a database? Well, a database does this, this, and this. How is that different than a spreadsheet? Maybe that kind of thing. So at least they're not clueless. And OneNote, what that's used for, and then Publisher as well. So again, just kind of the features of what those applications are. You don't have to delve into them actually doing anything with that. So what we really want them doing things with is Outlook, is kind of the cloud integration, the whole Office 365 environment, PowerPoint, Excel, and Word. Those are kind of the doing stuffs, applications. And then in Module 16, you just want to do that, whatever your summative thing is, whether it's a final exam or a big test or whatever, or a big assignment or a project, or whatever you're having them submit, essay, paper, I don't care. Whatever that is, that's due in Module 16, and you don't have any content, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, so those are some of the essentials here of what we're doing. I'm going to reach out to Distance Education here in just a few minutes, so hopefully that will be all set. And they'll be reaching out to you to kind of get you started. What I would do, again, as far as quick start right now, is get screencast-o-matic.com, start playing with that. I'm not sure if I gave you a webcam or not, but start playing with screencast-o-matic.com, and I'll send you a little how-to on to do that. I do think that's the best route to go with the creation of content, to create content very easily and quickly. It is the best thing going out there right now for that. There's fancier bells and whistles, but this thing will do everything you want and make a very nice presentations for you. So there's that, and reach out to me and keep pushing and reaching out. I've got so many things, so much cross chatter going on, but just don't feel bashful about trying to call me 3 or 4 times, because eventually I do pick up. So please keep reaching out if something is going on. We'll touch base shortly. My plan is within the next week, after we digest all of this, touch base with you and see if you've gotten connected with our new DE area, Matt and his people down there on this, and to keep you kind of going. As far as, you're probably looking at this, there's no way you'll have all this done by, well, you could. You really could. You could, if you wanted to, you could have this done in probably 2 weeks, 40 hours a week. But I wouldn't expect that. What I would shoot for is by the time that your class starts, which is January 9th, by January 9th, just try to have maybe the first 4 modules done, or maybe it'd be great, maybe even the first modules 1 through 5. That would be great. But I would try to give yourself about a month ahead of the students, and then every week you're only making a 15-minute lecture. You're making your assessments, whatever those might be, quizzes, or however you want to handle that. You might be just doing. You may not even have quizzes. That's the other thing too. You don't have to have a quiz. You don't have to have any tests. You can just have little projects. Make a table in Word. Format this document in Word. Create a pivot table in Excel. You could have just that, and then you have little videos that go along with each one of your action items that you want them to do. And then maybe you have them culminate in a big activity using multiple things. You could even, now I'm sorry, I'm talking randomly here, but you could even do this. You could give them a document. I'm going to pick on Word. You could give them a document that's messed up and say, fix it. I want margins at 1 inch. I want the font at Times New Roman. And then it's easy for you to grade too. So when you see it and they fixed it all, you can visually probably just glance at it and realize, oh, they set the margins correctly. They know how to do margins. They know how to change font. They know how to change spacing. You can all kinds of weird things. Give me 1.5 spacing or whatever. So you could do stuff like that. So we'll talk more about, if you kind of want to kick around some ideas about how to their homework, their assignments, and things like that. We can definitely talk more about that. Oh, and as I remembered here too, this class was built primarily off of what is in lynda.com. So go to that lynda.com, look up, I'll go back and look at the exact classes that were in Lynda. There's a ton of them out there. You can get access to lynda.com for free. If you have a Lucas Library card, you can get access to that. Go to your local librarian. I could do it online. You just got to enter in your library barcode. You could do it. I didn't have to walk into the library. You could do everything, and I got access to lynda.com, which is normally $25 a month. They have thousands of tutorials on all kinds of things, mostly tech and business related type stuff. But they again, this was built pretty much off of what they did. Take a look at what they've done. You could literally kind of, I guess, mimic the essence of those videos We can't use them. I tried. They wouldn't sell them to me. They'll sell me they would sell me everything in the Linda Library, like a $25,000 licensing fee. Not gonna work. So, um, but take a look at them. I mean, that's where I would really look for inspiration as well. All right, so there's that. Pretty much. All right, I'll touch base with you in about a week, but of course, reach out to me if you have any questions. Thanks, Shirley.